Hi, Honors Bowls. I'm Danny Saluna, and I'm one of the academic advisors in the Judy Genshaft Honors College. In this video, we're going to go over a bunch of things that's going to help prepare you for registration. Whether you're a first-year student working to get your academic advising hold removed, or you're a seasoned pro ready to get ready for graduation, we're going to go over a whole bunch of information in this video to help you prepare for an academic advising appointment. We're going to talk about the honors requirements, academic, global, and community engagement. We're going to talk about looking at Degreeworks, how to read Degreeworks, and how to make sense of it all. We're going to talk about what honors classes double dip. What this means is which honors classes can also count for a general education requirement for you, and which ones do they count for. We're also going to talk about how to read the honors block on Degreeworks, how to pick honors classes. So let's jump right into it. Honors requirements. What are they? What do you have to do? Basically, there are three requirements. You have academics, community engagement, global experience. Academics are your honors courses. In honors, you have to take 6 total classes. So those 6 courses are acquisition of knowledge, geographical perspectives, 2 honors courses you get to choose. After those 4 classes, your last 2 are going to be your research track. You have 2 different options there. You can either do thesis 1 followed by thesis 2, or you can do an honors capstone class and another honors core course. Now, this second honors core course could be another capstone if you really like capstone. It could be another 4200. You get to choose what that honors core course is. So again, let's go over that. 6 classes, acquisition of knowledge, geo perspectives or geographical perspectives, 2 honors courses of your choosing, thesis 1, thesis 2. The other option is acquisition of knowledge, geo perspectives, 2 honors core courses of your choosing, honors capstone, and another honors core course. Pretty simple, right? Your next requirement is global experience. And we have a list of pre-approved activities that can count towards your global experience. Be sure to check on our website to see what those are. But basically, you have to choose 2 activities out of a list of pre-approved activities to complete from the time you enter college until you graduate. Now, we typically suggest trying to get those done in your sophomore to junior year. Freshman year, it's a little too early. Senior year, it's a little bit too late. So kind of right in the middle is the good area. You also have a community service or community engagement requirement. Now, this is 50 hours of community service from the time you started college until you graduate. How do you do that? Well, with community engagement, we like you to be reflective, and we prefer that you do your whole 50 hours with the same organization so you can really get involved in that particular organization. If that's not possible for you, we want to challenge you to at least try to focus on similar things. Not only do you log your hours and turn that into us, but throughout your experience, both before you start community service, throughout and at the finishing of your community service, you need to be involved in the Judy Genshaft Community Service Canvas course. You can find that Canvas course again on our website. Part of that Canvas course is really being reflective on your experience with community service. The other thing I like to talk about is the documentation. What does that have to look like? What is the requirement? So we don't have very strict guidelines on what your community service form looks like. There's just a few things that it has to include. There needs to be some sort of official logo on there representing the organization that you worked for. There also needs to be contact information in case we have any follow-up questions that we need to follow up with whoever oversaw your community service. Also, your name and how many hours and what you did is required. So I like to use 2 examples. If you volunteer for Moffitt, Moffitt Cancer Center. They deal with volunteers all the time, and they have a very standard, almost like a timesheet looking volunteer form where you log your hours, and then your coordinator or supervisor will sign that paperwork. It has the Moffitt logo, it has your name, it has your hours, and it has contact information. We'll accept that. But let's say you volunteer for me as a peer mentor for the Judy Genschaft Honors College. Well, then I personally write a letter to whom it may concern. So-and-so served as a peer mentor for this many hours, teaching first-year students about college life, with my contact information, the Judy Genschaft Honors College logo at the top. Both of those are perfectly acceptable. They have the same information that we require. So don't stress out about how do you document your hours. It can be a letter, it can be a timesheet, it can look different as long as you have that important information. Now we're going to talk about looking at Degreeworks. I'm going to first show you what does general education section of Degreeworks looks like, and you should be able to see it here. So you can see general education knowledge, composition 1, composition 2, humanities, social sciences, natural sciences. Now this particular student does not have any credits in their Degreeworks. So how do you read this? How do we navigate this? My best tip or trick is to honestly read it word for word. So if you look right here, it says you must complete all of the following. So that means every single thing listed here, I must complete, right? You must complete all the following. You must complete all the following. There will be some sections in your Degreeworks that say choose 1 or choose 2 or complete 3. So making sure you read it, because sometimes it can look really overwhelming with all these lists, and maybe you only need to finish 1 class in there. You have your general education knowledge in this top box, general education, intellectual and practical skills, the personal social responsibility, and the integrative applied learning. We refer to as the advanced gen eds or enhanced gen eds. I've heard both. Basically, a good rule of thumb when you're thinking about honors courses and what can double dip, if it sounds like a traditional subject, maybe you learned in high school, humanities, social sciences, natural sciences, mathematics, honors can't help you there. Then you have the enhanced gen eds. That's when honors can help you. If it sounds a little fancy and a little bit bougie, honors got your back, right? So creative thinking, information data literacy, human and cultural diversity, that's what works for me to remember. So all those ones at the bottom, honors can take care of for you. Acquisition of knowledge is IDH 2010. This takes care of information and data literacy for you. The next class you would take could be any of your core courses or 4200, which is geographical perspectives. So I'm just going to go down the list in no particular order. So creative thinking can be taken care of with an honors arts and humanities class or an honors natural science class. And that is the IDH 3100 or 3350. Skipping information and data literacy, because we already talked about that. Human and cultural diversity is taken care of by one of your required honors courses. IDH 4200 is our geographical perspectives class. Moving down to ethical reasoning and civic engagement, you have 2 choices here that could double dip for you. You have IDH 3400 or IDH 3600. IDH 3400 is a social and behavioral science class with honors. IDH 3600 is a seminar in applied ethics. Then finally, your high impact practice. That will be taken care of either through your honors capstone or your honors thesis. So IDH 4950 is that honors capstone. IDH 4970 is that honors thesis. Now we're going to talk about the honors block. Here you see the Judy Genschaft Honors College requirements. Now this is one of those sections that can be a little bit confusing because, like I said earlier, you got to make sure you read it. So it's really important you go through and read word for word, what does this say? I circled some things to notice, like this section right here says choose 1 from the following. So that means you get to choose honors thesis, departmental honors requirement, honors college capstone. Those are your three options. And then you can see it tabs over for Honors College Capstone because you do a capstone and an additional honors course. But you only choose one of these. You don't have to do all of these. And that's where a lot of the confusion happens if you don't read the text. The other thing I want you to look at is this other red circle. It says or. So again, you have to take 6 credits in IDH 3100 or 3350 or 3400 or 3600. Again, you don't have to take all of those. You have to take 6 credits, which is 2 classes. So that's where things can get a little bit confusing. That's how you kind of read that honors block. So we're moving on to the next thing. We're going quick, and fast. So now you've looked at Degreeworks, you know your honors requirements, you looked at your honors block, you know what you've already completed and what you need. So now comes the fun part. You get to pick an honors class. So honors classes are completely different from any other class on campus. For example, when you take Biology 1, section 1 through 40, within reason should be roughly the same class, apart from the small discretionary differences between faculty members. Honors is not like that at all. We have an IDH 3100 maybe on one topic and another 3100s on a completely different topic, but they're both labeled arts and humanities. What I like to call these are overarching themes. Now, how do you know what you're signing up for if they're completely different? You have to visit our website, and I'm going to show you where you look. When you're on our main page, you'll go to Student Resources, Honors Courses. And each semester we upload our courses before registration. So for example, let's look at spring 2020. You have arts and humanities, natural sciences, social behavioral sciences, seminar and applied ethics, geographical perspectives, undergraduate research, selected topics, or honors capstone. But once you click into these, you're going to see every class is wildly different. So I want to urge you to never just sign up for a 3100 or a 3350 because you know you need that class to double dip. Make sure you look at what you're signing up for. The way to break this up is I usually say, know what you need to double dip for you. Pick out a few classes or themes that you're interested in and that double dip for you and start there. So let's say, for example, we know we need a creative thinking requirement. So that means IDH 3100 and 3350 are our options. Well, I tend to lean more towards an arts and humanities. Maybe I'm not as interested in natural sciences. So let's start there. So you click that open. So for example, section 1 in spring 2020 was rock and roll, but section 5 was beyond Florida man and sunsets, Florida and the South in photographs. Completely different. You're talking about rock and roll in one, you're talking about photographs in another, right? So making sure you're going through and reading these, looking at the times that they're offered and making sure those work for you. Whenever you see sections you like, I suggest writing down that section number. And that is everything. We went over honors requirements, how to look and read Degreeworks, what honors classes double dip, how to read the honors block, how to pick and read honors descriptions. Now, by no means is this video supposed to replace your academic advisor, but at least it helps you understand a few things. Obviously, this video is very long and super intensive, and sometimes during academic advising meetings, we just don't have enough time to go over all of this for you, or we do very quickly, and it's hard to remember. So that's why we wanted to film this video for you, so you could keep it and refer to it when you need it. But please be sure to still meet with both your major advisor and your honors advisors to ensure that you are on the correct path to graduation. You can do it. Happy registration. Go Bulls.